Her phone died, and with it, everything she thought she was. A billionaire tech founder, stranded in silence, face to face, with the one man who once taught her how to live, and might force her to feel it all again. But what happens when success means nothing, and the life you built starts to fall apart in front of you? Stay till the end, because this is not just a love story. It is the moment everything breaks, and something far more powerful begins. Before we dive into the incredible story, do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you never miss our powerful, life-changing content. Thank you for listening to this heartfelt story. If it moved you, share it, comments below, and let someone know you are never alone. The signal died. Without warning. No buzzing. No glowing screens. No constant pull. Just silence. I stood there, phone useless in my hand, heart beating louder than it should. The forest breathed around me, wind brushing against tall pines, sunlight breaking in quiet fragments. Felt wrong, uncomfortable, like standing inside my own thoughts, with nowhere to escape. Then I saw him, across the clearing, steady, unchanged, and the same calm eyes, the same quiet strength, like the world had never rushed him. You finally stopped running, he said, his voice tough, but it hit like truth. Something inside me cracked. All the years, building, chasing, proving, collapsed in a single breath. I built everything, I whispered. My voice trembled, like it belonged to someone else. He stepped closer, low, gentle. And lost yourself, he answered. No judgment, only understanding. That hurt more. The air felt heavier, my chest tighter. I remembered this place, where he once taught me how to sit still, how to listen, how to live. I do not know how to stop, I said. The words tasted sharp. He reached for my hand, warm, steady. You already did, he said. My pulse slowed, just enough to notice the wind again, the scent of earth, the sound of life moving without me. Tears blurred everything, not from weakness, but from release. He stayed, silent, present, sharing the weight I carried, as if it had always been his too. And in that quiet, uncomfortable, beautiful moment, I felt something return. Not ambition, not control, but myself, and him, standing there, like he always had, ready to teach me again, how to live, how to feel, how to stay. And I took a step closer, uncertain, alive, because this time, I understood. Love was never something to build. It was something to return to, and I was only beginning to see how much I had left to learn. His hand stayed in mine, grounding, steady. The silence stretched, yet it felt different now. Not empty, full, of things I had ignored for years. A bird called from somewhere deep, sharp, clear, flinched. He noticed. You hear it now, he said. I nodded, low, as if admitting something fragile. We walked, no destination, just movement. The earth soft beneath my shoes, each step unfamiliar, like learning to exist again. I was afraid, I said. The words slipped out, quiet, heavy. Of what? His voice stayed gentle. Of stopping, of feeling, of realizing none of it meant what I thought. The wind rose, cool against my skin. I shivered, not from cold, from truth. He paused, turning toward me, close enough for me to see the small scar near his brow, the one I once teased him about. You built something impressive, he said. Pause. But you forgot who you were building it for. The words settled deep, unavoidable. For a moment, the world tilted, not violently, but enough to make me question every long night, every missed call, every lonely victory. I thought success would feel different, I whispered. It does, he replied, when you have someone to share it with. My chest tightened again, but softer this time, less like breaking, more like opening. We reached the lake. Phil. White. Endless. The surface reflected everything. Trees. I barely recognized myself. He let go of my hand, only to sit on the worn wooden dock. Familiar. And changed. I hesitated, then followed. The wood creaked beneath us, a quiet reminder of time passing. I used to sit here with you, I said. You used to laugh more, he answered. A faint smile touched my lips, uncertain, but real. The air shifted. He leaned back, eyes on the sky, peaceful. Envied that. Teach me again, I said, barely louder than breath. He turned, studying me, not the version I built, but the one I buried. This time, he said slowly, you have to stay long enough to learn. The words lingered, heavy with meaning. I swallowed. Fear flickered, sharp, unexpected, because staying meant facing everything. The silence grew deeper, not uncomfortable, but demanding, and somewhere in that stillness, felt it, pull, stronger than ambition, stronger than habit, something real, something I had been running from. I looked at him, at the life I once touched, then abandoned, and I shifted closer, not fully, not yet, but enough to feel the space between us change, enough to know, this time, walking away would hurt more than staying, and the thought alone sent a quiet, unsettling, beautiful ache through every part of me. The ache stayed, low, constant, like a truth settling into bone. I drew a breath, low, uneven. The air tasted different here, clean, honest, nothing filtered, nothing designed. My chest rose again, deeper this time. He watched me, quiet, patient, as if he knew. This was the hardest part, not building, not chasing, but allowing. I do not know who I am without it, I said. The words came fragile, almost breaking. He did not answer right away. Instead, he reached beside him, lifting a small stone, worn smooth by years of water. He placed it in my palm. Feel that, he said. I did. Oh, solid, real. It became this by staying, he added. Pause. Not by running. My fingers curled around it. Something inside me resisted. Sharp. Panic. The old rhythm calling me back. Deadlines. Messages. Control. Almost stood. Almost reached for the life that always demanded me. But my body refused, like it knew. Before I did, the dock creaked again, louder this time. A sudden shift of weight. Froze. The wood beneath us dipped, just slightly, enough to send a ripple across the still lake. My pulse spiked, fast, loud. The calm shattered for a second. What was that? I whispered. Ben stayed still, eyes scanning the water. Just movement, he said. But his voice held something else. Awareness. The lake no longer looked peaceful. The surface trembled. Subtle. Unsettling. Like something beneath. I turned. I leaned forward. Heart climbing into my throat. The reflection broke apart. Trees. Distorted. For a moment, I felt it again. That same discomfort. That same loss of control. Only deeper now. Because I could not escape it. Not with work. Not with noise. Only by staying. The dock shifted once more. A sharper creak. My hand moved instinctively, finding his again. Warm. Steady. Real. Stay, he said quietly. Not a command. An anchor. My breath caught. The world held itself, balanced on something fragile. And I realized, this fear, this uncertainty, this raw, unfiltered moment, was not something to run from. It was something to move through. Slowly, together, I tightened my grip on his hand, not out of panic. Choice. The ripples spread wider, reaching us, rocking the dock just enough to remind me, everything shifts, everything changes, and still, he stayed, And for the first time, so did I. Even as the water beneath us kept moving, restless, unseen, and something inside me began to rise with it. The rising feeling did not rush. It unfolded, low, deliberate, like something long buried, finally finding light. My grip softened, yet I did not let go. The water steadied, but the echo of movement remained inside me, stronger now. What is happening to me? Yes, not afraid, just exposed. Ben exhaled, quiet, certain. You are feeling everything you paused for years. The words settled deep. No escape in them, only truth. I looked down at the lake again, clearer now, the distortion fading. Yet I knew it had not disappeared, only passed, like everything else. A breeze crossed the surface. Oh, gentle. It brushed against my face. Like a whisper I almost understood. I thought I was strong, I said. You are, he replied. Pause. But strength is not only endurance. I turned toward him. The closeness startled me again. Not uncomfortable, just unfamiliar. Then what is it? His eyes held mine. Steady. Staying when it is easier to leave. My chest tightened. Not painful, but full. Full. Memories surfaced, one after another. Late nights, tea rooms, victories with no one beside me. And beneath all of it, quiet longing, ignored, dismissed, silenced, until now. I left this place because I was afraid of needing it, I admitted. The confession lingered. Well, honest. And now, he asked. The question did not demand. It opened. I searched for the answer. Not in my thoughts, but in the way my breath slowed here. In the way my body refused to run. Incomplete, I said finally. The word surprised me, yet it fit perfectly. The dock creaked again, softer this time, as if settling with us. I looked at our hands, still connected, not by accident, but by choice, and something shifted deeper. A quiet surrender, not to him, but to the moment, to the truth I kept avoiding. The wind picked up slightly, carrying the scent of water and wood. Grounding, real. I do not want to lose this again, I said. Barely a whisper. Ben's thumb moved gently against my hand. Small gesture, yet it carried more weight than anything I had built. Then do not disappear from it, he said. Simple, clear, difficult. I nodded, low, understanding the cost. Because staying meant changing, letting go of control, of speed, of the version of myself that survived by distance. The lake stretched before us, wide, endless, not threatening now, just honest. And in its reflection, I saw it again, not the person I became, but the one I could still return to, if I stayed, if I chose this, moment by moment, breath by breath. My fingers tightened slightly around his, not out of fear, but intention, and as the light shifted across the water, felt it, that quiet pull again, stronger now, guiding, unavoidable, leading me somewhere I had once known, yet never fully understood. And I leaned forward just a little, as if listening, as if something ahead of me was about to ask for more than I had ever given. The question never came in words. It arrived as a feeling, a steady, impossible to ignore. I sat there, hand in his, heart open in a way I once feared. The lake stretched before us, quiet, endless, no more ripples, no more trembling, just stillness, and for the first time, it did not unsettle me. It welcomed me. I closed my eyes, letting everything settle. The noise I carried for years, the pressure, the endless chase, softened, not gone, but no longer in control. I spent so long trying to build a life, I said, my voice calm now. I forgot to live inside it. Ben did not interrupt. He never did. He simply stayed. And that presence, that quiet loyalty, taught me more than any success ever had. I opened my eyes. The world looked the same, yet I felt different inside it. Grounded, present, whole in a way I had never measured before. I am not leaving, I said. Not as a promise to him, but as a truth to myself. Shift, quiet, permanent. He smiled, tough, certain, like he had been waiting, not for me to return, but for me to arrive, fully. The sun dipped lower, casting gold across the water. Everything glowed, warm, alive. I breathed it in, deep, grateful, 'cause I understood now. Life was never meant to be outrun. Success without connection feels empty. Strength without presence feels hollow. And love, real love, asks for time, for stillness, for courage to remain, even when everything inside you wants to escape. I leaned my head lightly against his shoulder. No rush, no fear, just quiet certainty. And in that moment, I knew the world would keep moving. Demands would return. Ambitions would call again. But I had learned something stronger. Pause, feel, stay. Because the greatest thing we ever build is not what we create outside, but what we are brave enough to hold on to within, and who we choose to share it with.